3 decades after hip-hop legend Tupac Shakur was killed in a drive-by shooting, a trial is now underway for the man accused of orchestrating his murder. Prosecutors say Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was behind the killing, calling it an act of revenge for an attack on his nephew hours earlier.
Yesterday, we got a glimpse of new evidence and heard from several witnesses. Joining us now to talk about their testimony and what else we can expect during this trial is attorney Rachel Fiset. We're so glad to have you with us this morning. And diving in here, prosecutors framing the killing as now an act of revenge. Can you tell us about the video they shared yesterday in court?
Well, they've shared that Tupac and Orlando Anderson, who is Keefe D's nephew, were in a fight. So they showed the MGM fight with Suge Knight and Tupac and Orlando Anderson, and then they showed people in the car, and they showed the cars afterwards, and they went through the evidence basically as a timeline showing that this was a revenge killing. So the motive here is revenge, and they are trying to use Keefe D's statements, which we have left off, showing statements of him confessing to this crime, and we will see more of that today. He confessed to this crime in 2008, and they are starting to show that video. So the jury is really being treated to a timeline of events, a motive, and his own confession relating to Tupac's killing.
Yeah, which is all interesting. This all stems from his own confessions, which makes it even more strange. Well, let's talk more about that video because, of course, Tupac was killed in Las Vegas, but the confrontation in that video goes back to Los Angeles and an attack at Lakewood Mall. So tell us how Los Angeles ties into this confrontation.
Right, so months earlier, there was a robbery at the mall, and really basically what they are setting up is gang violence, so that two opposing gangs were in a kind of historical fight that started at Lakewood regarding a chain of another member, and they were robbed at the mall. I think it was a Foot Locker, and that set up this dispute that went further in Las Vegas and then led to his murder. So really they're setting up a chain of events that has these two opposing gang members and side members that involved the music industry very deeply, and so they're just going back in time to set up how and why everybody was really in this giant dispute.
Right, they're going to dive into that a lot during this trial. So a memoir written by Keefe is central to the prosecution's case, but yesterday we saw an unusual move from the defense, who says the memoir is actually fiction. Doesn't that undermine his credibility, and what's the strategy here?
So the strategy here is to call his client a liar. So the defense's strategy is usually to set up the credibility of their client to make their client palatable to the jury. But here the defense is to say, my client is a complete and total liar, and he confessed to this crime earlier. He didn't mean it, and then he wrote about it, and he only did that to make money, and it wasn't really him writing anyway. So all the times that you're going to see him confessing, and there's going to be even more than that because it's his confession to the police and FBI, then you have his confession in a memoir, then you have some like YouTube videos where he's saying it, and the defense attorney is taking the tactic of don't believe that guy. Do not believe my client. He is full of it. And he even wrote the word BS in front of the jury, pointed it to it, and said, that's what my client is full of.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that is very interesting. What else stood out for you yesterday? I mean, it was notable that none of the witnesses really were able to name who did the shooting. Do you think we're going to get any more like clearance or clarity on what happened to Tupac from this trial?
I don't actually think we are.
Yeah.
I don't think Suge Knight is cooperating. He is the only eyewitness that was in either of the two cars. And I don't think we're going to get all the way there. I think some of the most interesting testimony, just to show kind of the depth of what was happening on the streets really, is that we heard from a police officer yesterday that rode in the ambulance with Tupac, and Tupac was still speaking at the time, and the police officer asked him, who did this to you? And he said, no, we'll take care of it.
Yep.
Well, it's so interesting to go back in time and have this play out now in real time. So.
And then decades later, that silence still exists around this case. So it's interesting.
Rachel, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.